Oh, hello there. Would you children like to hear a story today? Excellent. This is one of my favorites. Moby Dick by Herman Melville. Chapter 64. Stubbs' Supper.
A steak ere I sleep. Udigu, overboard you go, and cut me one from his small.
Whalers, as a general thing, dislike whale meat, yet now and then you find some of these Nantucketeers who have a genuine relish for the sperm whale. Sharks are never found in such countless numbers, and in gayer or more jovial spirits than around a dead sperm whale, moored by night to a whale ship at sea.
Cook! Where's that old fleece? Cook, you cook, sail this way, cook.
The old cook, not happy at having been previously roused from his warm hammock at such an unseasonable hour, came stumbling along from his galley. This old fleece, as they called him, came shuffling and limping along, assisting his step with his tongs, which, after a clumsy fashion, were made of straightened iron hoops. This old man, along in obedience to the word of command, came to a dead stop on the opposite side of Stubbs' sideboard, when, with both hands folded before him, and resting on his two-legged cane, he bowed his arched back still further over, at the same time sideways inclining his head so as to bring his best ear into play.
Cook, don't you think the steak is rather overdone? You've been beating the steak too much, cook. Too tender. I don't always say that to be a good whale steak. It must be tough. Those sharks now over the side. Don't you see they prefer it tough and rare? What a racket they are kicking up. Cook, go and tell them that they are welcome to help themselves civilly and in moderation, but they must keep quiet. Blast me if I can hear my own voice. Away, cook, and deliver my message. Here, take this lantern now and go and preach to them.
Solemnly taking the offered lantern, the cook limped across the deck to the bulwarks, and then, with one hand dropping his light low over the sea, so as to get a good view of his congregation, with the other hand he solemnly flourished his tongs, and leaning far over the side in a mumbling voice, began addressing the sharks, while Stubb, softly crawling behind, listened.
Fellow critters, I have been ordered here to say that you must stop that noise. You hear? Stop that smacking of the lips. Stubb says that you can fill your bellies up to the hatchings, but by God, you must stop that racket.
Cook, why damn your eyes, you mustn't swear that way when you're preaching. That's no way to convert sinners, cook.
Who is that? Then preach to him yourself.
No, cook. Go on.
Well then, beloved fellow critters. Right, coax them to it. Try that.
Please continue.
Do you is all sharks, and by nature very voracious. Yet I say to you, fellow critters, that that's voraciousness. Stop that flapping. How you think to hear? Suppose you keep up such a noise and biting there.
Cook, I won't have that swearing. Talk to them gentlemanly.
Once more the sermon proceeded.
Your voraciousness. Fellow critters, I don't blame ye so much, for that is nature and can't be helped. But to govern that wicked nature, that is the point. You is sharks, starting. But if you govern the shark in you, why didn't you be angel? For all angel is nothing more than the shark well governed. Now, look here, brethren. Just try once to be civil, helping yourselves from that whale. Don't be tearing the blubber out your neighbor's mouth. And by God, none on you has the right to that whale. That whale belonged to someone else. I know some of you has very big mouth, bigger than the others. but then the big mouths sometimes had the small bellies, so that the bigness of the mouth is not smaller width, but to bite off the blubber for the small fry of sharks that can't help themselves.
Well done, old fleece.
No use going on, they will keep a-slapping each other, Stub. They don't hear one word, no use of preaching to such gluttons as you call them, till their bellies are full, and their bellies are bottomless. And when they do get them full, they won't hear you then, for then they sink in the sea, go fast to sleep on the coral, and can't hear nothing at all. No more, for ever and ever.
Upon my soul, I am of the same opinion. So give the benediction, fleece, and I'll away to my supper.
Cursed creatures, kick a roll as ever as you can. Fill your bellies till they burst and then die.
Now, cook, pay particular attention.
Sir?
Well, I shall now go back to the subject of the steak. In the first place, how old are you, cook?
About 90, they say.
Stub continues to eat.
And you have lived in this world hard upon 100 years, cook, and don't yet know how to cook a whale steak. You must go home and be born again and come back when you've learned to cook a whale steak.
Bless my soul if I cook another one.
The cook began to leave.
Cook, do you belong to the church?
Passed one once in Cape Town.
Where do you expect to go, cook?
To bed. Very soon.
Avast, I mean when you die, cook. What's your answer?
When this old man dies, he won't go nowhere, but some blessed angel will come and fetch him.
Fetch him? How and where?
Up there.
So then you expect to go into our main top, do you, cook? But don't you know the higher you climb, the colder it gets?
Didn't say that at all.
You said up there, didn't you? Now look yourself. See where your tongues are pointing, cook. None of us are in heaven yet. Well, then, cook, see this whale steak of yours, so very bad, distracted me, that I have put it out of sight as soon as possible. Well, for the future, when you cook another whale steak for me, I'll tell you what to do so as not to spoil it by overdoing. And now tomorrow, cook, when we are cutting the fish, be sure you stand by to get the tips of his fins. Have them put in pickle. As for the ends of the flukes, have them soused, cook. There, now ye may go.
The cook walked away mumbling.
By God, I wish the whale ate him, instead of eating him whale. I'm blessed if a shark ain't more shark than Stub. Ha 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 ha. That's one of my favorite chapters. Well, children, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did.